Hello everyone. I know all of you are in the world of stories. In the last class, we heard a lot of stories. I think it is in the activity session, I gave you a lot of stories to read. Right? Did you read all the stories? Well, very good. Now listen. When we analyzed each and every story, we could see one thing. Do you know what are they? Yes, each and every story has some features. What are the different features of a story? Can you tell me? What are the different features? Yes, each and every story has a beginning. Next has a middle part and then a conclusion part or an end part, right? And when we tell a story, we should start with a beginning part. Which are the different beginning parts? We could see in our textbook. In the last class, we could see some beginnings. Which are the different beginnings of the stories? Once upon a time. Another one, there lived a king. Another one, long, long ago. One day, in the evening, one morning, there was a crow. അങ്ങനെ നമ്മൾ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്തത് ഇല്ലേ? Right. Now we could see the first feature of a story is should start with a beginning. And the next part, that is the middle part. All the content should be there. What happened first, then next what happened, then what happened after that. And these are the middle part. And at last, there should be a conclusion part, end part. Right. I think I have given you an activity on this conclusion part. In a box, I think collect some ending conclusion part of each and every story and write it down in that box, in that activity part. Am I correct? Did you do it well? Right, some of you have sent me that answers. Very good. Right. Now listen me. And each and every story ends with a moral. Or sometimes the moral may be in the form of a proverb. Right? Moral means a lesson. Okay. Now too, we are going to, or you are going to tell a story. Not me, but you. You are going to tell the story. Before that, as a preparation, you should make the story first. Then collect all the hints and after that make a beautiful story as a whole. And you may make a lot of additional sentences to make that story an attractive one. Right? Okay, let's write the story. For this, I will give you some hints. The hints as some questions. I will ask some questions. You should find out the answer of that question. While I am asking some questions, you should write these answers in a rough page. After the first question, you pause my video and write its answer in a notebook, in a rough page. After completing all the questions, you should collect all the answers and make it as a beautiful story. Right? Okay, listen very carefully. There was a king and queen. Where did they live? There are a lot of answers. In a castle, in a palace, or in a mansion, or in a stately home. Stately home avan sadhyadilla because they are king and queen. So maybe in a castle or in a palace. Okay. Now, they had a daughter. What was her name? You may give any name as you like it. Any name. Maybe Tina or Annie or whatever it may be. Then another question. How did she look like? How did she look like? എങ്ങനെയുണ്ടായിരുന്നു കാണാൻ? What will be the answer? She was very pretty. She was very beautiful. Or she was very ugly. Okay, you may give your own answer. And the next question. What was her attitude? How did she behave? എങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു അവളുടെ പെരുമാറ്റം? അവളുടെ മൈൻഡ് എങ്ങനെയായിരുന്നു? What was her attitude? She was very happy? Or was she very sad or gloomy? How was she? As a daughter of actually as a daughter of a king and queen, there are a lot of convenience to live happily there, right? A lot of servants are there to serve her, and all the comforts are there, but she was not at all happy. What may be the reason? You may find out as your own imagination. These answers are not there in your textbook, but you may imagine and write a beautiful story. Another question. Then, as she was very sad, the queen offered a lot of rewards to the people, those who make her happy. What was the reward? Maybe a ring, gold coin, maybe a ring, a gold coin, or a bundle of cash. Okay, you may imagine. There came a musician. What did the musician play? A guitar, an harmonium, a violin? You may imagine. There came a joker and a fairy. What did the fairy do? The fairy did a magical spell. What did the joker do? Joker told a lot of jokes, and the joker did somersault. What do you mean by somersault? മലക്കം മറിച്ചിലൊക്കെ ഈ ജോക്കറുകൾ മലക്കം മറിയാറില്ലേ? ജമ്പ് അപ്സൈഡ് ഡൗൺ. ദാറ്റ് ഇസ് ദ somersault. Somersault, right? Okay. Then a young man also came there. What was he? Is he a teacher? Sorry, was he a teacher? Or was he a musician? Or anybody else? Then why did he come there? Why did the queen call him? We don't know the reason. You may imagine and make an answer of that question. Right? One day, there came a boy, also a little boy, with a cage. ഒരു കൂടുമായിട്ടാണ് വന്നത്. A lot of pets are there in that cage. What are the different pets in that cage? Parrot, squirrel, puppy, or cat? You may imagine whatever it may be as your own imagination. Then the daughter, that girl, became very happy when she saw that pets. Why was she happy at that time? Right? Now, who won the prize or who won the reward? Who got the reward? Can you imagine? The parrot got the reward, or the dog, or who else? Right? Now, why did the daughter or the girl become very happy? Then you may imagine all these questions. You may find out the answer of all these questions and find out the answer and imagine what are the how can you make this story as a very beautiful one. And you may add your own sentences you may add a beautiful sentences to make that story very attractive one. ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞ സെൻറ്റൻസും ഉപയോഗിക്കാം, ബാക്കി നിങ്ങളുടെ ആൻസേഴ്സും ഉപയോഗിക്കാം. Then make it as a very beautiful one, right? And you may write this answer. Then if you need any clarification, you may look at the page number 41 in your textbook and write the story in the next page, in page number 42. There is the space for you, right? Take page number 42 in your textbook. Here is also one more story. Now look at the picture, the pigs and the wolf. Now, what do you need for a story? What does a story need? Do you remember the features of the story? First, beginning, middle part, and conclusion part, right? Now look at the first sentence in the story. Now in these bold letters, here the bold letters. Once there lived 3 little pigs. Now that is the starting or the beginning of the story, right? Now below that, at last, look at say one more sentence is there in the bold letters here. The 2 little pigs now felt sorry for being so lazy. They too built their houses with bricks and lived happily ever after. Now this is the conclusion part. Now beginning part is there and conclusion part is there. Then what do you need more? Yes, we need the middle part. Here is the middle part. Here is the middle part. But this middle part, sentences are not in a correct order. All of these are in a jumbled order. Now you should make them this sentence as in a correct sequence, right? Now first sentence is this. This is the first sentence. What will be the second sentence? You just go through all the sentences and find out the second incident, second event, and find out the third event and the fourth event and so on. Okay. Now one thing, you should not write this answer in your notebook. Instead of it, you just number it. Here number one is this. Number one is this. The first one, once there lived 3 little pigs, which is the second sentence. Now you place number here. ഇവിടെ നമ്പർ ഇട്ടാൽ മതി നിങ്ങൾ. Number 2, number 3, number 4 അതിലേതാണെന്ന് സെലക്ട് ചെയ്യണം. Which is the second event, which is the third event, fourth event, and numbered it. Okay. Now you don't write this in your notebook and you need not to send to me, but you may keep it in your textbook itself, right? But the previous one, നേരത്തെ ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞല്ലോ ഒരു കിങ് ആൻഡ് ക്വീൻ്റെത്, അത് നിങ്ങൾ ഫോട്ടോ എടുത്തിട്ട് എനിക്ക് സെൻഡ് ചെയ്യണം. ഓക്കെ, റൈറ്റ്. Page number 43 in your textbook. Here's one more story. I know you know this story very well, right? It's a very familiar story, The Fox and the Crow. But the story is not completed. You should complete that story though. Let's read it. One morning, the fox was walking through the woods. He was looking for something tasty to eat. Soon his nose picked up a scent of something very sweet. He stood still and sniffed the air. The fox didn't have to wait long to find out what it was. A crow was sitting on a branch high up in a tree, and its beak was the biggest piece of the cheese he would ever see. Cheese ആണ്. What is there in his mouth? Cheese. നമ്മൾ പഠിച്ചത് എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നത് അപ്പം ആണ് എന്നാണ്. Okay, anyway. Now, what happened next? Now, the fox saw the cheese in a crow's beak. Now, he was very hungry too. Then what did the fox do then? Then think about it. Then imagine that. Think about that story and you complete this part. Complete the story. Now, before completing the story, you should remember the features of the story. Look at the first part. Is there any beginning? Yes. One morning, the fox was walking through the woods. That is the beginning. And the middle part, that is the middle part. These parts are the middle part. And here also നിങ്ങൾ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്ന ആ ഭാഗം കൂടെ അതിൻ്റെ മിഡിൽ പാർട്ടാണ്. ആൻഡ് അറ്റ് ലാസ്റ്റ് യു കൺക്ലൂഡ് ദാറ്റ് story, and so the conclusion sentence should be there in your story. Okay, you may write in your textbook. Okay, thank you. Now look at the cartoons in page number 44 in your textbook. Now this cartoon, that's also a story, a famous story, The Lion and the Mouse. I think you have read it in my activity session in my previous class. Isn't it? Right. Now listen. But in this story, now the bubbles are empty. Here the bubbles are empty bubbles. Now you should fill that bubbles and make it a complete story. Right? For a story, we need the beginning part, middle part, and the conclusion part. I repeat. Okay, here the beginning part is there. Long ago, a lion lived in a forest. One day, he felt very tired and fell asleep. A mouse came though and started disturbing the lion. These are the beginning part. This is the beginning part, and others and the middle part and oru part aanu. Right. Now look at the each and every cartoon picture. Lion is there, sleeping, snoring. At that time, mouse came to disturb him. Right. Now below that the bubbles are empty. What happened when the mouse disturbing? What happened? When the mouse disturbed lion, what will the lion do? What did the lion do? Lion caught him and was very angry to him. He caught in his hand and he scolded him. Right? Now you may write എന്താണ് ലയൺ പറഞ്ഞത് ഡയലോഗ് എന്താണെന്ന് you may write there in that bubble, in this bubble. And what will be the reply of mouse too? You may write there also. And the second one, this one, the lion left the mouse freely, giving a warning. Then what was mouse reply? Okay, and next again came. Then പോകുന്നതിന് മുമ്പ് വീണ്ടും എന്തോ പറഞ്ഞു. Line. What would be that sentence? Now look at the conclusion part. Conclusion part എത്തുന്നതിൻ്റെ മുമ്പേ ഒരു ഭാഗമുണ്ട് here. There is this. Days passed. One day the lion fell into a trap. He called out for help. Do you remember who will come there for the help? Sure, our mouse came there. Then what did the mouse do? What did the mouse tell? You may write here. Sorry, you may write here in this bubble. And you may write the sentences. Dialogues മാത്രം ഇവിടെ എഴുതാം. Then other sentences you may write in this box. Then എന്താണ് മറ്റ് സെൻറ്റൻസ് എന്തൊക്കെയായിരിക്കും ഡയലോഗ് അല്ലാതെ? The lion became very sad, and when he saw mouse, he was very happy. But how can a tiny creature, how could the tiny creature help me? എങ്ങനെ കഴിയും? അതൊക്കെയാണ് ലയൺ ചിന്തിക്കുന്നത്. At last, what happened? Now you may write the conclusion part in this box. Okay? Thank you.